So today we are going to see about one of the rare web application vulnerability, honestly. Okay, so this PHP code injection and server-side include injections are rare web application based scenario, but this is a very critical vulnerabilities. So if there is any application you are testing, if it is which is vulnerable to PHP code injection or a server-side include injection, so that will be very critical of the security. So we'll discuss about those vulnerabilities in this PWAP. So once after completing these two vulnerabilities, we directly take a live application and we do our testing assessment against the applications. Okay, so yes, this is our IP address 192.168.0.108. Okay, so I'm just going with my Kali machine, and here I'm logging as an Adam user. So I'm choosing the vulnerability of so even we have a time, I also teach you about blind OS command injection. So server side include injection. So first we can say about PHP code injection. And guys, once even after the session, you can try all the vulnerabilities. Okay, so most of the vulnerabilities, the important topics and the scenario based attack I had taken you in the session, but remaining all the topics you can perform, you can practice over in your own way. So that will give you the clear exposure and idea about how you can do the testings. So that will be really helpful for your penetration testing assessment. Okay, so most of the web application vulnerability is happening through there is a improper user input validation. So that is the reason for many web application vulnerability. Yes, this PHP code execution also existing the same. Okay, so improper user input validation. So if there is a proper application, it should have to validate all the user inputs. So if that applications fail to validate the user input, means that will lead to the big attack. Okay, so like this PHP code injection also quite similar, but the mechanism and business logic used in the PHP code injection is quite different. Okay, so we'll see about it. See here, there is an option. This is just a test page reflecting back your message. So for example, here everything will be text, but this message will be like a clickable. So I'm just clicking this message. See what happened. It's showing message test. Okay, so how this message test is coming based on the parameter here. Okay, so they're using a message parameter and they're giving the value test. See, for example, here I'm giving the value like see now in below it printing hello. Okay, see generally where you can find a PHP coding injection means wherever the PHP script in application calling the user input. Okay, calling all the user input using a system function. Okay, the PHP script wherever it calling user input using by the system functions, there you can try for the PHP code injection. Okay, so for example, this is a PHP script. Okay, so this is the PHP script. It calling user input through the system functions. Okay, it calling user input through the systems functions. So there you can try for the PHP code injection. So now you have a doubt how I can make sure this input is calling through the system functions or not. Means so you should have to be aware of this line termination in PHP. So semicolon in PHP will be considered as the line termination. So once after this semicolon, anything you can give that will be executed. See, for example, here I'm giving hello and semicolon. See what happened. But it only printing the hello. Okay, here we are giving PHP semicolon. See, for example, here I'm giving a 001 just for example and making enter. See what happening, it doesn't printing the character which is after the semicolon. Okay, once after semicolon it doesn't printing the character. So this semicolon in PHP is used for a line termination. Okay, so the semicolon is used in PHP for a line termination. So once after this, if you want something you can give. So for example, just I'm giving the same. So I'm giving a system function hello echo. Okay, so we all know this echo is a system command basically in Linux operating system. For example, if you go on this, I'll show you now. Okay, so if I want to print anything, so print function in Python, the exact same echo function in PHP and in shell scripting also, bash also especially. See here I'm giving echo echo infoset train. So what happening, it echoing infoset train. Okay, so just it printing the message. So this echo is like a printing. Okay, it printing the message. So here I'm giving echo command. So what I said about PHP code injection, wherever the PHP script in the application calling user input using the system functions. Okay, wherever the PHP script in the application calling user inputs okay, using system functions. So there you can search for the PHP code injection. So here still we are not confirmed whether this PHP code calling the user input using system function or not. Okay, we found this is a PHP code calling user input, but we are not confirmed whether this user input are calling through this system function or not. So that is why I'm checking for just checking the system functioning. So first I'm giving a general message hello all, hello space all. See, now it doesn't print anything. Okay, once if we leave the space, it doesn't print anything. So I'm just printing only hello. It printing hello. Okay, so how I check whether it calling the system function to it using the system functioning to call the user input means I'm just giving a semicolon. So this semicolon in PHP is used for the line termination. Okay, see, now if it is a proper application, what it should have to do, it also needs to print the semicolon in below. But see, in below it doesn't print the semicolon, it only prints the message hello. So here I'm giving some functions system function commands like echo all. See, now what happening, it printing hello all. Okay, it printing hello all, but what it doing, it making this echo into process. Okay, it doesn't printing the echo. Okay, if it is a proper application means what this application needs to do, this application also needs to print the echo here. Okay, if it is a proper application, it also needs to print the echo here. But here what happening, this application not printing this echo, instead of that it making processing. Okay, so for example, I'm just opening a terminal and I'm giving echo all. See, now it echoing this all text, the same thing exactly doing. Okay, it is making echo. So this is actually issue here. Okay, so here also there is a no proper input validation. Okay, so where you can find PHP code injection, the PHP script wherever it calling the user input by the system function. Okay, the PHP script in a backend calling a user input by the system function. So that you can search for the PHP code injection. So in this PHP code injection, what major attackers will do is they check the PHP info file. So is there any idea about PHP info? So if you are testing an application, it disclosing the PHP info means that will be an issue. Okay, you can mark it as a medium level issue also, because this is a very sensitive information. See, now it's showing PHP versions and Ubuntu, everything it's showing. Okay, so the configurations, everything it is disclosing. So these are the sensitive informations. So if this attacker gets this information, that may leads to the big attack. Okay, so please note it down, this PHP info. So not only for this PHP code injection. So if you are testing any injection attack or any web application based vulnerabilities, so using those vulnerabilities, if you can able to see this PHP info file, then it will be a big issue. Okay, so because this PHP info file will contain the sensitive information of the PHP configuration in the applications. Okay, in that particular application. See, now it's showing all the configuration based informations. Okay, so this is the major issue of PHP info. So now I'll tell you what attackers can do using this PHP code injection. So using this PHP code injection, generally attacker can able to execute the codes in a remote server. Okay, so attackers can execute commands in a remote server. So for executing commands in a remote server means in PHP there is a function called system. Okay, in PHP there is a system function called system. So using this system function, you can able to execute commands. Okay, like, so now major people having some doubts. I'll practically show you in Python. Okay, the same concept which is in PHP also. Okay, see, I'm just creating a demo Python file. I'll show you the difference between two files. Okay, so test.py. Okay, so I'm just opening this file test.py. I'm giving the command like print ls. Okay, so what is ls? Ls is command to list. Okay, it will list what all the folders and files in the current directory. So here I'm just using Python 2 and I'm running this file. See, now what happening, it just printing the ls. Okay, so this file here we are using the print function. So this what this print function is doing, so this print function only printing the file. Okay, so just wait. I'll clearly show you, tell you. Okay, so here in this print, what are all the words we are giving that only prints in the terminal? So for example, here I'm giving a mkdir. So generally we all know this mkdir is a command to create a directory. Here I'm giving mkdir demo and making save, and I'm running the same command here. Okay, see now it just printing, not executing. Okay, just printing, not executing. So if I want to execute this ls or rmdir into the terminal, I can't able to execute using the print function. Okay, if I give this print ls, means it only print in the terminal, it never execute. So what if the ls will execute in the terminal? See, if this ls will execute in the terminal, means what happened? It will list the file. So how we make this ls to execute in the terminal? So how we make ls to execute in the terminal? Okay, so now any commands, sorry, any string we are giving in the print function, it only just printing, it never execute. Okay, so for example, if you want to execute these things into the terminal, means what we have to do, we generally using print statement, we can't able to do that. So there is some modules in python available. So using that module, we can able to execute the system level commands. Okay, using that modules, we can able to execute the system level commands. The very familiar module is os. Okay, so import os. So this os module is available. So I hope if you know python, you will aware of this os module. For a different example, I'm using a sub process, you will get a different idea about this also. Okay, so this sub process module also exactly like os module, there will be some different small changes only, but rest everything will be similar. So this model name is sub process. Okay, and here I'm giving the calling the function, so sub process. ls. Okay, see now I am running this file. Okay, I'm just running the file. See what happening. See, when I run this file, what happening? See, I'm not listing anything, I'm just running this file. When I execute the file, what happening? This ls command will start executed. Okay, see, for example, let me do one more thing. Okay, so how you can execute two commands in the same line of the terminal? So for example, how you can execute two commands in the same line? Using AND operation, you can able to execute two commands in the same line. For example, now we are in the desktop directory. Here there is a no folder. There is only test.py file. So I'm creating a folder like make directory task. Okay, so after creating the folder, I'm giving another command and then cd task. Okay, so first we have to create the folder because the task folder is not existing available in the desktop. So first I'm creating the folder, next I'm getting inside the folder, and next what I'm doing is I'm just creating a file using touch file.txt. Okay, oh sorry, here instead of find operation I'm giving a star. So file exists. Oh, so first whenever we execute this command, this task directory is created. Okay, so no issue, just I'm deleting the folder or okay, so now I'm just making a list. Yes, now I'm executing this command, make directory. Sorry, I'm giving the spelling mistake here. Sorry, so this is the mistake. So task spelling mistake, TAST I'm giving. Okay, sorry, this is a very minor mistake. Task. Yes, now it is running properly. So first what it happened, it create the folder task and next it get into the folder task. See here, you can able to see we are now inside the task folder and it also create the file.txt file. So I'm just removing the task folder now. Yes, okay. So I'm just copying the same command. Okay, I'm copying the same command and I'm giving in the print inside the print function. Okay, I'm copying the same command and giving inside the print function. Now I am running this file. Okay, I'm not doing anything, I'm just executing this file. Oh, sorry, in this task folder that is a no file, so we have to came back to the directory. Okay, see what happened. Now it only printing this one. Okay, now we know this all our Linux command, we know this all our systems command, but it not executing the command, it only printing the commands. So here what I am doing is I'm just coming back. Okay, so here I'm giving the same commands. Okay, I'm copying this one and I'm giving the same command here. Okay, so that's all I'm saving and I'm just running the file again. Oh, everything is exist. So just wait. RM. Yes. Now I'm running the file command file again. Okay, so make directory file. Okay. So this is something internal error. Just for example, I'm doing the list only now. Oh, sorry, it creates the folder. Okay, okay, okay. This is my mistake. Okay. So everything will be simple mistake. I'm just some time. See, when we are running the file, what happening? It just not printing the ls command. Instead of that, it making process the ls command. So I hope you all understand. So this is the thing I want to make you guys to clear. Okay. So now if we give the ls in a print means it generally only prints the ls. But now what happening? We are using the subprocess module and calling the module. So what happened? Now this ls instead of printing, it make processing. It make processing and showing the output here. So here in this web page, okay, how you can process the system input. Okay, so for that in php there is a module called systems. Okay, so module called system available in php. Using the system module you can able to execute the systems command. For example, if you give ls here means, see what happened. See, if you give ls here means nothing will come. Okay, so we know this ls is a system command. If you want to execute all the systems command, then you have to input the module system in bracket. You have to give the command inside the double quotes. Okay, ls. See now what happened. First it making printing this hello and next it executing the ls command. Okay, it executing the ls command, it showing all the, it listing all the files in into the current directories. Okay, see, showing all the files in the current directory. So this is actually happening in the php code injection. So guys, in your penetration testing assessment, if you are testing an application, so if there is any issue related to php or a server means, you give a more special care to those vulnerabilities, because if there is any issue in a php or a server, it's that directly leads to the code execution vulnerability, which is a very critical to the application. So using the code execution, attacker take the complete access of the target using code execution. So which majorly leads to the code execution means vulnerabilities related to PHP server and OS command based, which are all majorly related to the code execution vulnerabilities. So here I'm just checking for a reversal. For example, here I'm using the command which nc. So it's showing slash bin slash nc. So we confirm, okay, so there is a netcat available in the target app. system. So what attacker generate to attacker take advantage over the netcat and gaining the reversion. Okay, so I'm just checking my IP address if config. So my IP address is 192.168.0.101. Okay, and I'm starting listening over through the netcat. Okay, so netcat if I'm listening verbose port 5656. So here I'm listening on port number 5656 and I'm just executing the netcat command here. 192.168.0.101. This is attacker IP and attacker listening on the port number 5656 and I'm giving -e option to execute it on a big bash. See, now it is running. Okay, now the web page is loading and I'm going to the terminal by. See, here we got the connection. Okay, so here attacker got the connection. So I'm just giving the command who am I. It's showing www-data. So this www-data is a low privileged user. So we got the remote machine access. So if you have a knowledge, if you have experience in a privileged escalation, then you can able to exploit. But personally, this BWAP is a very vulnerable application. There's a multiple possibilities to exploit a privilege escalation in this BWAP also. We'll see practically privilege escalation by today onwards. So I'll take allocate some time for a privilege escalation. We'll completely discuss about it. Crawl the contents. Okay, collect the front end resource of the application. So just I'm going to this Anna University site for an example. I'm just copying the URL and I'm moving to my desktop directory. Okay, so here I'm executing the same wget command. Okay, so wget -mk and here I'm giving URL. See, now it's showing it fetching all the front end resource and store it as the domain name in this page. Okay, so this is the file it have. So generally this wget command will fetch the resource. Okay, it is used to share the resource also. So what I'm doing is just for example, I'm creating a malicious file. So you can see like so I'm just creating a file. This is for an example, but if netcat is not available in your target means you can do all this. Either if your target is a Linux machine, then you can give this command like add get install netcat also. That also possible. If it is a Linux machine, you can give this apt install netcat. Okay, so instead of netcat I'm installing ncat, but this won't work here. It only printing the functions here. So I'm just giving a which nc command here. See what happens. NC. So you can transfer the file. You can create a payload and transfer it over here. So I'm just start creating a Metasploit payload. For example, MSFNM. So this is actually listening code or host of attacker IP address and cmd slash unix slash reverse underscore python. Okay, so just wait, it creating a payload. So once after creating the payload, what I'll do is I'll transfer the payload using the wget command to the target. Yes, now the payload is created. Hmm, just wait. Yes, here's the payload. So what I'm doing is I'm creating another bash file. Okay, so file uh, tester 01.sketch. Okay, so I'm just opening this file. I'm copying all the command, all the contents, and I'm opening this bash file now, and I'm putting all these contents into the bash file. Okay, so that's all. Now I'm just opening terminal in this desktop location, and I'm giving executable permission to this bash file. Okay, so chmod 777. Okay, yes, so we provided permission to the file. So just you can transfer the file. Before transferring the file, either you can transfer from your Apache server or you can transfer from using a Python server, anything is fine. Okay, but one more thing, how we create this payload. So what is the port we had listening for this payload? 8080. So 8080 is the port we had listening, and we give our IP address as a 101. So I'm checking once again my IP address. Yeah, it's right. Yes, port number 8080. Okay, so I'm just hosting the Python server from my location. So Python 2 -m simple HTTP server in different port number like 1234. Yes, now the Python server is running on my system 1234. I'm just giving IP address of my machine 192.168.0.101. This is my machine because this Python server is running on attacker machine in port number 1234. Yes, okay, here we can able to access that one. And I'm just, yes, it is downloading. But what I'm doing is I'm just giving a slash here and I'm calling the file. Okay, so tester01 dot sketch. So whenever I give the URL, it downloading the tester.sketch file. So the same I'm doing, I'm just copying the entire URL and I'm going to the same path. Okay, uh, wget, and I'm giving this URL. Yes, okay, it has run. Now just I'm giving the list command. Okay, so see any file. Yes. Okay, so here you can able to see this is the file we have uploaded to our target. So this tester01.sketch. Okay, now you can run or trigger this file using many techniques for that, like so bash tester01.sketch. Okay, so before executing, you should have to start listener in your side. I'm just opening netcat, so NC listening verbose port. What is the port we've given for the payload is 8080. Yes, I'm just running this one. Okay, see, now it is executing, and I'm going to the terminal wise. See, we got the same connections. So Netcat we are using in our side, okay, not in a server side. So for example, your question is if the server is not having a Netcat means then how we can get a shell over this. Okay, so that is your question. Yes, using this what? So I'll tell you once again the walkthrough what I was did here. So you just consider the scenario. So generally, if we want to take a reversal from the target means so our system need to have a netcat and the targeted website also need targeted application also need to have a netcat. If there is a netcat not available in targeted site means target application means we can't able to get a reverse connection. Okay, so in that case what we can do is so I'm just creating a simple Python payload from my side. Okay, so that Python payload is especially for a Linux based machine. So if it is a Windows based machine, then I created some Python so Metasploit based exe file for a reversion. Okay, I create a simple Python payload and I upload the Python payload from my system. I upload the Python file to the targeted site. Okay, how I transfer the Python file to the targeted application? I first hosted the I just converted the Python file into a bash file and I host that file in my side. And after that, I'm just sharing the file to the targeted application because the targeted application does not have netcat in this scenario, but we can able to do the code execution. So using the code execution, I'm transferring the file. Once and after transferring the file, we can able to see that file, and I'm just executing the file. Okay, I'm just running the file. From running before, I'm just starting netcat listening from my side. Here there is a no netcat necessary for the target. Okay, I'm just running a netcat from my side, and through that I get a reversal. Okay, so these are all different mechanism, and I really appreciate your question. Okay, because if you didn't ask this one, I never perform this. Okay, so meanwhile if so I encourage all your doubts. Okay, any possibility, any chance you have a doubts, you can ask me, we'll discuss on it. Okay, so team, this is the same thing what you can do in most of the CTF like hack the box and some private CTF programming or in OACP based examinations. Okay, so especially in OACP, this will be the scenario. This is how you can transfer file from attacker system to the vulnerable machine using this wget. So make research more about the wget. You all get more information.